Oh, it's not food time. It's Deej. That's right, it's Deej. Deej. With another fun-filled rant for the day. And today's rant is avoiding work because you didn't get your way. Yes. Now, we've sit there and seen all these little news stories popping up here in the last day or so about Texas Democrats fleeing the state, getting on some private planes, and flying off to Washington, D.C. to stop and block a voting bill in Texas. Yeah, they don't like how things are going their way, so they're going to run away and hide. And this is not the first time they've done it. They've done it earlier in the year where they refused to show up to work to stop the voting as well. Now, this is not the first time that this tactic has been used, folks. No, because there are 2011 Wisconsin Democrats fled to avoid an anti-union voting bill. Well, at least that's how the media wants to portray it. Anti-union voting bill. It was basically anybody had a right to choose whether or not they wanted to join a union or not, and it would be up to the individual person. Indiana did the same thing that year by fleeing to Illinois to stop that. Now, I'm not going to pick on just the Democrats because we know Republicans have done the same. Just a couple of years ago, the Oregon Republicans fled the state to stop a vote from happening. That's neither here nor there, though, folks. If you are a politician voted in to work for the people, be it a city, a county, a state, or federal level, you should keep your ass where you're supposed to be for voting or suffer some kind of consequences if you pull stunts like this, run off just to stop a vote. What kind of consequences? Well, hell, right now the Texas governor says that if these Democrats step foot back into Texas, they will be arrested and taken straight to the state capitol, and they will stay there until the vote is done. Now, while that's kind of a little bit over the edge, arresting people, even though they probably deserve it, I say, if you pull this tactic, you got to be kicked out of the damn wherever you're serving. I don't care if it's Republican, Democrat, Independent. If you flee to try to stop something just because you're not getting your way, you should be kicked out. Lose your job immediately. All these ones that's ran away now should not be getting paid. They should not have checks for this. No. Why are we rewarding bad behavior? Another part of this rant that I want to do is how the media frames it all, because whenever a Republican has done this, they're the most evil thing in the world for doing it. But lo and behold, Democrats do it. They're the savior of the universe. So right there, we are another telltale sign that the media is corrupt. I don't know what else to say, folks. This is bullshit. I think everybody, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, unless you are so far left or right, should be saying damn straight they should be kicked out and not paid if they're not going to do the work they were voted in to do. They are there to represent all constituents in their place where they were voted on, not just the minority that they want to win. not for their little. And this fucking voting thing that they're trying to bitch about in Texas is just securing the votes, making the elections more secure, not just opening it up willy nilly for anything and anybody that has no idea who they are. That's the thing I hate about this. You know, there was an AP poll that just came out a few days ago that 74% of Americans, that's Republicans, Democrats, Independents, 74% said they wanted voter ID laws. So anybody that tries to tell me that the majority of people don't, it might be the majority in your little circle that all think the same, but it's not. But that's just my rant today. I'm not all for locking them up, but maybe they need it. But I'm definitely for they shouldn't be getting paid and they shouldn't be keeping their jobs. Not at all. They should be chucked. Yeah, you know, they jumped on private planes. Who do you think we're paying for that? Texas. Taxpayers. So they jumped on a couple of private planes and flew out to Washington, D.C. Who do you think's paying for their hotel rooms, folks? The voters. People of Texas. That's who's paying for it. You're flipping the bill for 58 Texas House Democrats to flee the state just because they're not getting their way. Let that sink into you, people. Another sign of waste of tax dollars. Anybody from Texas that is listening to this video right now should be outraged at how the Texas Democrats are handling this. That's all I gotta say right now. This has been a little rant from the Deej. Stay tuned for the 48-hour live stream coming up later this week. I'm Deej, and I'm out of here.